We're going live with these bad boys. We're live right now. Hi, I'm Jennifer Maureen. I'm here with Gary Parker. Gary
Hey
is
guys.
touring around Texas. He's in Lockhart at Blacks right now.
Yep.
Pretty thrilled with himself and all these cool things he's getting to do. I don't blame you, Gary.
Right.
Good for you.
Yeah. So this is actually the famous Black's Barbecue. I think it's the oldest in Texas, according to the things I read. This is a multi-generational. This is a multi-generational family, and this family has split actually into two different barbecue corporations. So you have the original Blacks. This is where we're at right now today, and you're kind of seeing me like their signs. And then um, one of the sons, Terry Black, have gone off and created their own barbecue brand. So the family's expanding, and they've got two branches right now. So this is where we're at. We're in the original one, the one that Edgar started back in the early 1900s.
Wow. So that's an old building, huh?
That's an old building. That's right.
Early 1900s. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. All the ones I'll show you today were the early 1900s. The next set of photos, you got another one there. We sent you two of them from here at Black's and two of them from Smitty's, because we've already been to two places today. So we're already quite full of barbecue, and we got a couple more to go. So
here comes the other one. Hi, I'm Jennifer Noreen. I'm here with Gary Parker. Gary's in Lockhart, Texas at Black's.
Yeah.
I'm going to share some video footage with you guys to get started here before we do the video at 11:30.
So I got another one coming. Might explain what I'm doing. Hey, yeah. Now we're here. This is the second one at Black's. We had just ordered, so those are the guys. And if you notice, that's just like we do there at Barbecue.
No, I got
right?
chicken, baby back, and
Right.
This looks familiar.
Yep, because this is exactly the same way we do it. You notice it's the same scale that we have at BBQ2U. It's the same kind of cutting board that we have at BBQ2U. And they're just slicing up. That's brisket that he's slicing right now. You already see the quarter of a chicken that's in the bucket. And then we've got we ordered some baby back ribs. I'll send you some still shots of this stuff too, Jennifer.
Cool. This is super fun. I have another one to share too.
Yeah, you got two more. And there'll be two of them that we took at Smitty's for you.
Nice. So Gary, remind us all what you're doing there in Texas. What are you
having fun doing a barbecue crawl?
Yeah.
No, I had a little bit of personal family business, right, that I had to come down here and do. I said, well, while I'm coming down, I'm going to do every advantage to come show everybody where I came from when it came to barbecue. These places that I'm taking you to are the ones from when I was a kid. You know, so many people ask me, well, how did you learn this and how did you get started this? I'm trying to show you guys the way of life that I went through as I grew up. And of course, I did a lot of other things, like all kids do. But when it came to food, these are the places we hang out in. This is the stuff we did, and the families we hang out with, right? And we just have good food and good eat, and then go play hard, right?
Yeah, fun.
And that's what it's kind of like growing up in Central Texas.
Yeah. I got another one coming up here. This beautiful fireplace, which is a personal.
Oh, that's not a fireplace. I'm waiting to see it.
Oh, is it a pit? Sorry. Sorry.
No, you're giving it away. But no, I wanted to show you this picture.
Oh my God, that's so cool! Wow.
And so, if you notice, this is at Smitty's. These pits have been going active since 1924. Right? They don't even bother to build the fire anymore in a box, right? It just sits right there on the floor.
That's so cool.
If you watch really close, and as she zooms back on the picture, it's real hard to see, but you can see the chimney is way back there in the corner, and so the draw from the chimney just pulls all the heat and fire into that old 1924 brick pit, and that's where everything is cooked at Smitty's.
Unbelievable.
And we'll have some other ones for you to use on reels, right? Because we've got some pictures of them loading up this pit right in front of you with some sausage and so on and so forth. Because they just cook all day long, and people just keep walking in.
This is a social media manager's dream right here, getting some really cool footage from Gary's trip to Texas. So 11:22, 11:30, we'll go live officially and have a conversation. But for now, we're just going to kind of cycle through these videos.
Oh, so I get to repeat myself.
This is Smitty's Barbecue in Lockhart, right?
Yeah, this is Smitty's Barbecue in Lockhart, Texas. Yeah.
And how old is this?
Huh?
How old is this pit?
Oh, 1924 is when these pits were built.
That's just so cool.
And they've been going nonstop. You know, the fire never goes out here. And what's really interesting, so cool. I'll tell you about this pit, because this one picture just shows half of the pit. This is a room, and the pit is on the back wall, right? And so it's really an L shape. So not only is there's this fire, there's another fire on the other end of the pit, right? Sucking all the heat and fire in for that one. And that one's kind of interesting. I'll have to send you the picture on that, because it sits right next to the door where you come in, right? So if you step too far to the right when you come in, you're actually going to step in the coals. So everybody knows it that comes here, and we stay clear of that.
Yeah, like don't trip on the barbecue on the way in.
And don't trip on the barbecue on the way in, exactly.
That is awesome. Oh my God, that's awesome. I'm going to go grab another one here.
I think there's one more that we sent you.
I think there's actually, oh yeah, there is. Hold on, let's see. One of someone at a barrel. Kind of
I just have to see.
Okay, hold on.
We do we're going to take a lot of this stuff for you today, so we'll put it out on the reels and so on and so forth. And Holly's got me standing and doing little talks at different places and stuff like that. So, oh yeah, This is at Schmitty's. This is the pits are right behind, and there's that's their cutting board. It's a big barrel, that they cut on, and they're using the old time scale. I don't know if anybody ever remembers those, but those are the old meat market scales. Because as I've told you, I told everybody that, these places that I'm going to, these were original meat markets, because the origin of Texas barbecue was to start smoking it so you could preserve meat, right? And so you'll see things like the meat market scales versus the modern scales that we have today in some of these older joints.
So how long has Smitty's been around then?
Just as long. It's the early 1900s when they started. I know Smitty's, the pits were 1924. I don't know how far back before that the family actually started it.
So Gary Parker is the Pitmaster of BBQ2U in Gig Harbor, Washington. He's visiting and cruising around some famous barbecue places in Texas. Yesterday he was in Lexington, Texas, and at Snow's, and today he's in Lockhart. Smitty's, oh gosh,
Smitty's Blacks,
Terry Blacks.
And our next stop is going to be Kreuz's, which is right around the corner too. So there's several famous barbecue joints. That's why Lockhart is the capital of barbecue in Texas. Right, all the greats started here. This is Barbecue Central.
Apparently.
And then probably after we finish with Lockhart, we're probably going to go out to a little town called Dripping Springs, which is south of Austin, and try to get a video with the old original prairie pit that's at Salt Lake Barbecue, the original Salt Lake Barbecue. So we're going to try to get you some footage from there and standing around that pit and having a good time. Because that's a much different type of pit. You're looking at these ones I'm showing you. These are all enclosed pits, right? And so you basically got a fire draft, and a smoke and fire draft that goes through these pits to the out to the flue. When you get to Salt Lake, you're going to see it's a big round limestone pit, right? And so basically what you do in that one is you build this gigantic fire inside this pit, and then you just hang meat from hooks up by the chimney. And it's a much different type of barbecue, but it's really awesome. And this thing started, the thing behind Salt Lake was it started out in a prairie, right? It was just, cattle drives and stuff would come through there originally. And this is where they'd stop and cook or eat or what have you.
That is the most nostalgic looking Texas video I have ever seen. That is so classic.
All the credit goes to my niece Holly. She takes this stuff. So she's a professional photographer too. So you're going to get a lot of that stuff you've always wanted, right?
That's awesome. Yeah. And I cannot believe this thing has been around since 1924. Is that wood that it's made of or steel?
No,
My gosh,
that's
how is
brick.
that wood?
That's just bricks. So the way these things, like,
Oh, okay. It looks like
unlike
wood.
yeah, unlike today's pits, if this thing ever went cold, right, it'd take a couple of days of that fire going just to get ready to cook on it again. So you
Hmm.
really can't ever let it go out, because once it gets cold, it takes a while to get those bricks hot and get that all ready to go again.
And the meat goes on top there, but there's nothing
Yeah.
there right
So
now, right?
when she pans up, you see those big heavy steel lids. You can kind of see the weight
Hmm.
up there, right? The counterweight that helps them lift it. Those are great big sheet steel pieces of sheet steel that act as the lids and just keep the heat in when they're not getting it out. Is that not cool or
Yeah.
what?
It's
So
pretty
I
cool.
look at this stuff. The point I try to make is I try to explain this stuff to folks in the Northwest, right, and about what these things really look like and do, and how it all works. And you just can't recreate this in the Northwest. It's just not possible.
Well, I'm still here, but somehow it turned my picture off. Sorry about
Okay,
that.
that's okay. As long as I can hear you.
There we go. Here I am. I'm back.
Yeah.
I want to go back to the one when you're walking in because it just
Right.
reminds me so much of that vibe of the BBQ2U store in Gig Harbor.
All right.
It just has a similar
Well,
kind of
even
vibe.
if you just look at the picture behind me right now, you see it's the old wood paneling, right? And this was probably the last time they upgraded it. But yeah, it's all cedar paneling. There's pictures of family. There's pictures of the sports teams that they've sponsored for years. There's the shirts, slogans, beer signs. It's just, it is so nostalgic. You can't get enough
Okay,
of it.
so which one are you in right this minute? So that's
Black's
not.
Bar. That's
This is
Black's
black.
Barbecue. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Yeah, matter of fact, you can see where am I at? You can see things like these are some of the sports teams and stuff behind me. Because you know how I always talk in the store about like we were supporting Hit Dogs, while they were a thing, right? And we always like to get pictures of our sports teams that we're sponsoring there at Barbecue U, and this is why. It's because we want to create this wall of this generic or not generic generational wall of sports teams and athletes and stuff from the town and show how we've supported them and all along, right? That's a part of community. That's a part of bringing barbecue into the community,
Yeah, it's interacting with what's going on there,
right?
and the families and the community and the leaders and the mayor
Yeah,
and the whatever it
right.
might be. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun.
So
Let me
you wanted,
share my screen again so I can show
okay.
you walking in here. Somebody walked by you and said Black's Barbecue.
Yeah, and they got really great sweet tea here.
Oh man, I'm jealous. Well, the video's cutting up a little bit. I'm not sure how people are seeing it, but so this is Gary walking in to Black's Barbecue in Lockhart, Texas.
Yep.
One of the oldest barbecue joints in the nation, I'm sure.
Black barbecue.
Yeah, you can kind of see they still have some of their COVID stuff up. So it used to be you just get a tray right there where that sign was at that says "Please let us serve you." You used
Yeah.
to get your tray and your silverware and everything there, and you just slide through cafeteria style. But they kind of serve you now. They still haven't backed off of all that in this particular
So
town.
is Black's open normal hours plus online orders, or what's their
Yep.
status?
Yeah. Well, there's this place. It doesn't have a lot of the modern stuff. I don't see anything like delivery services or anything from here. They do it at the other stores, but this is the original, right? So
Hmm.
they haven't integrated all that, right? So no, so it's really just matter of fact, they don't even have Wi-Fi here. That's the reason I'm tethered to my phone for this, right? Is because they don't do that either. They're just a barbecue joint, man. Come on in, have a beer, eat some barbecue.
Black barbecue.
Fun, super fun.
Yep. So anyway, that's the first half of our day.
Yeah, it's a pretty good first half, I'll say.
Oh yeah, we're having food. We're nice and full. And we got lots of leftovers to take home to people. We're buying
Nice.
barbecue wherever we go, and we're going to make other people eat it.
So you're bringing some back to Gig Harbor, essentially.
Oh no, I probably won't make the road trip back, but I wish I could. I wish I could.
Yeah,
You're just going to have to come try it yourself.
put some on ice or something. Yep. Well, so
No.
what's the rest of your trip looking like? Is this the end of your barbecue visits here today?
Oh no! Like I was saying earlier, we got Krautz's barbecue. And if I can find the new Terry Blacks, I'm going to go in there and see what his thing's all about. And that's just here in Lockhart. And then that'll take us a couple more hours to sort through all that. And then if I still have a lot of energy and I'm not too full, I'm going to drive over to Dripping Springs, like I said, and try to find this old Salt Lake pit and get some images on that and show you what a different kind of Texas pit looks like.
Nice. Yeah.
So
are you going to do this once a year for us now?
I don't know, maybe a couple times a year.
Yeah.
You know, it's really rejuvenating. You know, when you work at a barbecue joint all day long, every day, managing the business and doing all the things that are not cooking barbecue, it can get kind of draining. So part of this is coming back and getting reacquainted and remembering why I love it so much.
Yeah, remembering your why you do what you do, what you love. So I'm going to start over again because it's 11:30 now, and that's the time that we had announced here on the West Coast, well, in Seattle area. Right. So I'm going to go ahead and share one of those videos again. Okay. And you're going to have to repeat yourself and tell us what they are. Sorry.
Okay, no worries. I think it's better time.
So we'll do this one again just because it's the beginning. Hold on. So this is you walking into Black's Barbecue in Lockhart, Texas. One of several barbecue joints. If you look up Lockhart, Texas, you'll see there's several barbecue joints that are famous in this area.
Right.
Yesterday was in Lexington.
Yep. Yesterday we were in Lexington at Snow's Barbecue, and I showed you all about that. And so this is, like I said, this is one of my homestays. I mean, I grew up here at Black's, right, or eating barbecue here anyway. And for all those people who asked me how did I get started, right, it was watching these pitmasters do this stuff in these places that really piqued my interest a long time ago. In addition to the stuff we did, at the family level, but this was really great. So this is one of the places that I used to come when I was a kid growing up, when I was hungry, right, so to speak.
So you live close enough to here to come by here, yeah? Yeah,
because my house is downtown Austin, or it used to be, and so we could get down here to Lockhart as well as we could get up north to Snows and various other things, right? When you live in Central Texas, you're not afraid to drive a couple 100 miles a day easily.
Yeah, because you don't really get anywhere if you don't, right?
If you don't, yeah. Yeah. I think you said it good yesterday, right? If you don't have a couple hours to do something, then you probably just don't leave the house, right?
You might as well just forget it. Yeah, exactly. All right, so this is you going into Black's. I'm going to go to the next one now.
So the next one will show the guys at Black's, cutting all the meats for our order.
Okay. So you ate some of this brisket today, is that right? What'd you have besides brisket?
Yeah. I had brisket, and here at Black's we had brisket, we had baby back ribs, and we had chicken.
Nice.
And then over at Smitty we had St. Louis style pork ribs for a little snack, if you know what I mean. So
you're definitely not a vegan.
No,
I got it.
So this is Gary Parker in Lockhart, Texas, and he's visiting a variety of the famous barbecue joints there. Right now you're seeing Black's Barbecue in Lockhart serving him up. A couple hours ahead of us here in Seattle area. But Gary's been having a good time.
So what I'd like to point out here is notice this is just like we do at BBQ2U, right? You got your cutting board, you got your scale, right? And we're just dishing it up, Only we put it on a tray or we put it in a little bit different container for go if we have to meet local regulations. But other than that, it's the same process as we do here in Central Texas.
Yeah, it has a very similar vibe. It makes me realize you could be even more rustic at your store in Gig Harbor.
We could, if I could find an old brick building somewhere, I'd be willing to do something like this in one of them.
How many slices of brisket?
Yep.
So.
How much brisket?
All right, we're gonna go to the next one now.
Yeah. So that was Black's Barbecue. Then where we had stopped first was Smitty's Barbecue, and I always just think this is cool because this is really more authentic Texas barbecue than even where Black's is, right? Because this is just an old brick building. It's what can you say? My vocabulary leaves me here to describe just how basic this building is. You know,
I'll talk
you
about
can see.
basic. Why don't you tell us what
Yeah.
this is now?
Yeah. So then this is one of the pits. It was created in 1924 and it's been running all that time. As you can see, the draw on it is really nice because the chimney's down, straight down the pit in the corner of the building, and so it's pulling that fire and that smoke into this old brick pit. So all that those bricks heat up and they keep a constant temperature. They keep these oak fires burning right on the end, all out in the open. So you'd never be able to do this in Gig Harbor or anything, right? It's just people just don't understand what this is in the Northwest yet, and but we'll get there sooner or later. We'll figure out a way to do something like this at some point
Yeah.
if we keep going.
It'd be fun to do it for one of the holidays. Have a
Yeah.
Christmas tree there and super
That's
rustic.
right.
Yeah.
Now there are some drawbacks. Like if you come in here in the middle of July and those fires are burning, you try to get that order cut pretty quick so you can go get into the lobby where we eat. Right? It's pretty hot, but in the wintertime, it's a nice cozy place to be.
Right. Yeah, it works in the winter when it's freezing cold. Yeah.
But anyway, so that's and this is an L-shaped pit, so it goes around the room. So there's another one of these fires on the other end of the pit, and it's right there by the door you walk in on. So everybody that comes here knows that there's a fire, right next to you. So be careful when you walk in to kind of stay left, right, or you'll end up stepping in the coal bed, right?
Yeah.
As you walk up to do your order.
So this is brick, and then this is steel up here.
Yeah, steel. It's just a big steel plate that sits over the top of it. You can see the little counterweight for the plate hanging up there, and that's all it is. Just a brick square. And down inside there, of course, they've got the grates that all the meat sit on.
Yeah, super simple.
Very few of these things left. But there's another thing I can tell you is these pits are what they pattern the modern day trailer pit after, right? Where you have the big firebox on one end, right? And then you got the big round tank, and then you got a smokestack coming out the other side of it, right? What they're doing is they're just putting on a trailer what that pit does, right?
Yeah, so that's what they haul around on the freeway and set up to cook their meat. Yeah.
Yep. So I don't know. Was that all four of them?
Nope. Now we have this one, which you have to tell me if it's Smitty's or Black's.
Well, it's the round barrel. It's the Smitty's version.
Yeah, the round cutting board.
Yeah.
Got one more here to share with you. Gary's on a tour of barbecue joints in Lockhart, Texas. So we're just kind of showing some of his trip highlights here. He's been eating some pretty delicious barbecue.
There we go. So yeah, now we're down at Smitty's and they're cutting our order back there on their table. I was pointing out to earlier about the scale when she zooms out, because that's the old meat market scale. If you've ever been to an old timey meat market, you've seen the big round tumbler type scale, and that's what they use because this used to be a meat market, and it still is a meat market actually. There's a room back over there where you can still go buy fresh cut meat selections, right, and take them home and cook them. So there's still a meat market as well as a barbecue joint. So yeah. So anyway, this is our two stops that we've done so far. You saw Snow's last night when we were live, which was a great place. And we're going to probably go from here. We're going to go to Kreutz's, right? And if we find Terry Black, the other Black barbecue family, we'll go in and see what they're all about. And then if we still got some energy, we're going to drive over to Dripping Springs and try to find Salt Lick and give you some video from there.
Yeah, I would love to see. I wish you were going to Austin. Walk into Franklin's, surprise him.
He's kind of hard to get in and out of these days. He's so famous, but maybe one of these trips I'll try to go over and get with Aaron and say hi to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, awesome. Well, it looks like you're having a good time. I'm glad to see it, and you're eating some good barbecue and seeing some amazing historical places. And thank you for sharing it with us.
Yep.
Be sure to send us the video. We can always get online when you get back too and show these.
Yep.
So anyway, again,
Very
Gary
cool.
Parker in Lockhart, Texas,
Yep.
touring some pretty famous barbecue joints.
Yep.
And if you got questions or comments or want to know more or something about his trip, feel free to leave it in the comments, or you can email Gary at gparker@texasbbq2u.com.
Yep.
Or you can visit the site at texasbbq2u.com.
Yep.
If watching all this barbecue has made you hungry and you're in the local Seattle area, we'd love to see you at the store. Gary, what's the local store number? I can put it on the screen here.
4814 Point Fosdick Drive, Gig Harbor, Washington.
4814. You think I have that memorized by now?
Yeah. You said it.
And what's the well, actually, you'd love for them to go to DoorDash, but what's the phone number?
Chano off the website.
Okay, so just go to the website.
Oh, that's the easiest thing to do.
Yeah. Okay. And it's texasbbq2u.com.
That's correct.
All right, so it should all be there now.
Yep.
Let me sure. Starting to.
Okay.
There we go. There's the address. Go to
So-
texasbbq2u.com and order fresh Texas barbecue if you're in the Seattle area.
Yep.
And get a hold of Gary to chat if you'd like to speak to him.
Oh, absolutely.
Thanks,
right.
Gary. Good to see you. Have a good
See you
rest
guys.
of the trip. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.